All right, and as always, this thing says we're live, so welcome back to the GM's Dice. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the game tonight. It will, unfortunately, be the last session of At the Edge of the Empire, one way or another. Honestly, with this group of players, I hope they survive it, but the dice will decide. We left off in our last session. The players had just jettisoned a one Miss Sylvia Utah in one of their escape pods and sent a message to the rebellion. Now, they've stuck around in the system waiting to hear back at a hopeful that the rebellion will get back to them. As they sit and wait, 3 hyperspace windows open, and out emerges 1 Imperial class Star Destroyer and 2 Imperial class light assault cruisers.
Shit.
Almost instantly, you can feel your ship begin to shudder and being pulled closer to this Star Destroyer. You hear over your intercom, "Pirate vessel, you will be boarded. Lower your defenses and all will go easily. We know on board that there are many Imperial felons."
And at that, Zaro will make the motion to cut the audio from our feed and look at Darius and go, well, what should we do? Do we stay and fight, or do we get the hell out of here?
Well, I think the one way to probably take out the Star Destroyer would be to like ram the conning tower and send it blowing it up. But then, that does sort of kill us.
Yeah.
Or we can run.
Shoot. You said it shuddered, right, when they showed up?
Yes, just seconds after they appear. And they appear right on top of you guys, and just seconds after the Star Destroyer appears, your ship begins to shudder and begins moving closer to the Star Destroyer.
She's going to turn to the guy who's on sensors and go, are you detecting a tractor beam?
And you can see this Weequay, he's just tapping away at the consoles, going nuts. And he looks at you with this look of panic. And he says, "Yes, ma'am. It appears that we're being pulled in as we speak."
Suggestions, Darius?
Is there a way to break out of a tractor beam?
You can always try to overpower it.
How about, we have weapons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's try and shoot it.
Okay. As you guys are having this conversation, one after another, just boom, 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 boom. About 10, maybe 11 hyperspace windows open and close, and you see numerous attack vessels. Zara, with her returned memory, IDs these vessels instantly. These vessels all bear the mark of Mandalore, all bear the mark of the Netra Viper clan.
What are they doing here?
And at that, when he says that, she'll look and go, "My brothers and sisters are here."
This is your family?
My clan.
Your comm begins to chirp. Beep, beep, beep.
And Zara opens up a channel.
Let's see. What kind of ship were you flying again?
One of those
Corvettes.
yeah, from like the first Star Wars.
Yeah. As you
Corvette.
activate the comm, you hear a Corvette class cruiser. With you, you bear a sister of Mandalore, a high-ranking and highly respected Mandalorian warrior. And because this, we stand with you. And two of the ships begin firing at the Star Destroyer.
Oh.
The 8 other ships, four each, begin firing on the damn it, what did I say they were? Light assault cruisers.
All right, boys. Okay, keep going, Sean.
I was gonna say, what's you guys' reaction? I mean, you're still on a tractor beam. You're still being pulled towards the Star Destroyer.
I take the comm. Hey, Mandalorians, can you shoot out their tractor beam that's got us so we can get out of here? Or at least move out of the way?
And as he's saying that to the clan, I'll look to my crew and go, whoever the gunners are, I say, aim for that tractor beam. Fire all weapons.
All right. You say that, and you get a resounding aye from everybody. And over the comm, you also, Darius, here, will do our best.
That's all you can do. Thank you.
So, initiative. And for this, we're just going to, either one of you can roll. Whoever has the best vigilance can roll for the ship. We're just going to do a ship-based initiative.
I got 3 with 1 rank.
Like 1 yellow and 2 green is what you have?
Yep.
Yes, I have the same.
Okay, I'll roll it.
Go ahead. Oh, we didn't roll any dark side or those other. You know.
Yes, you're right. Go ahead and roll for those.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh wait, did I roll the wrong thing? I rolled.
Yep.
I rolled the.
You roll the white one.
I rolled okay. There we go. Ooh, that's a good vigilance. Oh, that's that's not a good vigilance for us, though.
No. But we don't know who he's rolling for.
We've sent Sylvia Utah into the sun.
Now she's probably still floating out there and watching this battle go on.
All right, so we've got, let's see here, we've got, All right, well, all the NPCs go before you guys, but we've got, Okay, so the Star Destroyer. Bum, bum, bum. I screwed up on that one. The Star Destroyer, having you in its tractor beam at the moment and being fired upon by the other ships that have just jumped into orbit, begins firing at them. It full battery of its laser cannons begin firing. One of the Mandalorian ships is taking heavy damage right off the bat. It's just boom, 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 boom. Just there's puffs of smoke. There's plumes of fire as hull breaches are made. And as it continues to pull you inward. One of the assault cruisers begins firing at the group of Mandalorian ships that's attacking it, and again the same. One of them, it seems to be concentrating all of its fire on one of them, and it's taking some pretty good damage. Not nearly as severe as the one from the Star Destroyer, but pretty significant. The Mandalorian ships begin firing. And dealing pretty massive damage to one of the assault cruisers. The other assault cruiser seems to be withstanding quite a bit of a beating. The Star Destroyer is barely even being nicked. Its armor and whatnot is just phenomenal against these Mandalorian weapons at this point. It's going to take some beatings to get through it. The second assault cruiser, just like the others, is focusing in on one ship, but they seem to be missing more than they're hitting. And now it's you guys.
All right. We're firing at the tractor beam to get loose.
Okay.
So what would that be?
It's going to be a gunnery.
Okay.
I'll let you guys roll it for your NPCs. They're going to have 2 yellows.
Okay.
For their skill.
All right.
Let's see. The Star Destroyer is silhouette 8. What's your silhouette?
We are silhouette 5.
5. All right, so it's 3 times larger. So that's gonna downgrade. So that becomes one purple. But let's see here. You're trying to pinpoint the tractor beam, so that's going to, it's a small little bitty thing, so that's going to raise it back up, and we're going to say that is, it's going to raise it back up to 2, so it's 3, and it's going to be a red and 2 purples.
Yikes.
All right. Come on, boys, don't let me down. Wash.
Nil out. All right. So your gunners they open fire with just about everything you've got, and
Fire into space.
you are hitting the Star Destroyer. I mean, it's a massive ship. You're so close to it, it's almost impossible to miss. But you're not hitting the tractor beam array, the tractor array.
Okay.
You do manage to take out one of their cannons. They're heavy turbo laser battery cannons.
Okay.
And every other shot that hits seems to hit a non-essential area of the ship. So I mean, it's just the armor's just eating up the fire.
All right. As an incidental, that she'll get on the comms to the Mandalorians and go, once you get those assault cruisers cleared out of the way, I want all ships firing on the bridge of that Star Destroyer. This is Zara. And she'll click off.
And all you get back is affirmative, Miss Serene. You guys still have a movement or a maneuver, so you can attempt to overpower the tractor beam and break free.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, let's do it. Pilot, I want you to try to attempt to break free as these guys are firing. Gunners, keep your eye on that target.
All right. Well, Chris, seeing as how it seems that you are taking the...
Actually, let me try the piloting maneuver, if you don't mind. I have
No.
3 ranks and 1 green in that. So
Okay.
so
Darius. Then does Darius say, I'll take the pilot?
yeah, because let me try something, if you don't
All
mind.
right. Pilot, let Darius take the helm.
All right. So that is going to be... Ouch. 2 red, 2 purples.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right. The ship takes some strain as you slowly start throttling into the powering up the engines and bringing them up to full power. You can feel the entire ship shaking as it's fighting against the tractor beam. And it's first it stops moving closer and just sort of stands still, and the whole ship begins to shake, almost as if it's gonna just shake itself apart. You begin to make some headway. You start pulling a little bit away from the ship, just ever so slight, and then it's like a cable snapping. Everybody on the ship feels the force of this tractor beam breaking, and you everybody sort of rocks back, takes a couple of steps back. One guy on the bridge sitting in his seat actually falls over out of his seat as the ship jars so hard, and the ship lurches and makes a bit of distance away from the Star Destroyer.
Cool.
Oh, good job, Darius.
Thank you. That worked.
How much strain did the ship take? Just 1 point?
Just 1.
Okay. Okay, Darius, should we maneuver? I'm thinking we maneuver and try to get the ship behind the bridge and fire them from the rear.
That's what I was thinking, too. Let's get it out from the front of these guys.
All right.
Okay.
Now head towards that assault destroyer that's about out of the fight right now. That's our best
Okay.
bet.
All right.
All right, so you're going to take a second maneuver.
Yeah.
All right, the ship takes 2 more strain for the second maneuver.
Okay.
You can take it.
You manage to get into. Let's see, you've definitely got enough room that you can maneuver in behind. So if you want to describe how and where you fly the ship to get into what position you're wanting.
You want us to get directly behind the engines?
Behind it, because my guess is that the Imperials got their forward batteries as we're approaching. We get behind them, their back shields will be weaker.
You can
We
shoot
might have
out
a
the
better-
engines.
No, shoot out the bridge. I want
Oh,
that.
all right.
I want that tower leveled,
All right.
because
So yeah,
otherwise there's no command and control, and that thing will just be a floating hunk of junk in space.
all right. So swing around, come up underneath it. And try to get into place to get a good shot to nail the back of the bridge.
Okay. As you guys break free of the tractor beam, the Star Destroyer still firing at the Mandalore. Some of the turbo lasers are firing at the Mandalorian ships, but some of them begin to take aim at your ships. And let's see. Bum, 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 bum. So you came in underneath. So that's. I'm going to say it's the dorsal ones. They begin firing at you. So that's. All right. And let's see, you were 3 smaller than them, correct?
Yep.
You had a silhouette of 5.
Armor 5. So that's our soak, right? As far as ship's concerned.
Yes.
Okay.
So that becomes.
Now, depending on where they're firing on the ship, fore and aft is 2 on defense. Port and starboard are 1.
Okay. Well, as you guys break free and begin to fly underneath it, they're going to be firing right directly at your fore section,
Okay.
right at the front of the ship.
Okay. So if it's at 4, it's 2 defense then on that.
All right. Oh, they managed to miss with each of its 10 heavy turbo laser batteries that it turns to aim at you. They all fire all at once, just boom, 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 boom. And each shot just right past the front end of your bridge. Your big viewport, each of these big blasts just flies right in front of the transparent steel viewport, sort of causing everyone on the bridge to either look away or shield their eyes from the blast, from the light of it. And they begin turning. The cruiser, or not cruiser, but the Star Destroyer slowly begins to turn and list as if it's
Ooh.
turning to try and track you.
All right. Shall we shoot some?
Oh, on your turn.
Yeah. he's wanting to take these guys out.
One of the assault cruisers still firing at this one Mando ship. Let's see, I'm going to make a roll for this real quick just to see how well this goes. There's 50-50 roll here. All right. The one Mandalorian ship begins to take heavy damage, and slowly it begins to actually list, not turning, but it actually begins to sort of, one side of it begins to dip as it starts to, for lack of a better term, fall away from the battle. Now I know it's space and you don't technically fall, but
He's drifting. Drifting out of control.
now the Mandalorian ships firing back. All right. The assault cruiser that has just taken down this one Mandalorian ship, as the three others are all bombarding it, you can see explosions all over its hull. And back near the engines of the ship, you can see massive explosions that begin to spread throughout the entire ship. Just boom, 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 and the entire ship just goes, just explodes.
Nice.
So now they are down, the Imperials are down a cruiser. The other assault cruiser begins firing at the Mandalorian ships, or continues firing at the Mandalorian ships. And while it's firing, it drops 4 TIE fighters from its underbelly. The Star Destroyer TIE fighters begin flying out of its hangars underneath.
How many are the Star Destroyer?
2 groups of 3, so 6.
6 altogether, okay.
So that's a total of 10 TIE fighters, because 4 from the assault cruiser and then 6 from the Star Destroyer.
Okay.
And it's back around to you guys. You are no longer directly behind the Star Destroyer. You guys have flown underneath it, gotten in position behind it, and just as you're getting in position behind it, it begins to turn. So you're sort of left rear. So that would be aft port.
Aft port side. All right. So right here, and we got TIE fighters coming from. All right. This ship is more built to take out these TIE fighters, isn't it, Darius?
I think so.
All right. Fly back down, get into position. We're going to take out some of these TIE fighters.
All right. So I shall move the ship to get us into position to deal with those TIE fighters.
Okay.
Do I need to roll?
No, it's easily done. The TIE fighters aren't actually at this moment coming towards you. They've all come out of the bottom of the Star Destroyer and headed towards the group of Mandalorian ships that just took down the assault cruiser. So they're sort of heading starboard 4 away from you.
All right.
So they're forward right.
Okay. Cool.
So it's quite easy. I mean, the Star Destroyer has begun turning to come after you. It starts dropping TIE fighters. You guys are back here. The TIE fighters are heading off this direction, so it'd be easy to just sort of come back in underneath the Star Destroyer and come after them.
All right.
We're highly maneuverable, so we can play a little cat and mouse with the Star Destroyer. All right, gunners, when you're in range, start taking out those fighters.
All right. What range are your cannons? Long range, I believe, or medium?
Well, the dorsal and ventral medium turbo lasers are long. The port and starboard light turbo lasers are medium.
All right. Well, let's see. The TIE fighters, they come out. I'd say they're probably within long range.
Okay.
Well, wait, no, these are big fucking ships. They're probably right at the verge of medium, so you could probably hit them with just about everything you've got.
Okay. All right, gunners, fire.
All right, so each of your cannons on the starboard fore and aft are taking aim.
Yep.
All right, so you'll have to upgrade your difficulty for each one of these.
Okay.
All right. And let's see, TIE fighters, TIE fighters, TIE fighters. Where are the TIE fighters? I marked the page. Where's it at? There it is. All right. Bum, bum, bum. I don't have any. All right, so that's going to be, let's see, they got a silhouette of 3. They're 2 smaller than you are, so that makes it a little bit harder. So they're at... All right, so your difficulty would be, I'm going to say, 2 red naturally to hit them. And to upgrade it, each one for the third, what's that, 3 cannons that you're firing at them? 3 sides?
Mm-hmm.
Because the port side can't fire at them.
Right.
So that's going to be 2 reds, 3 purples. They don't have any shields or anything, so you don't have any setbacks. So yeah, it's just the 2 reds, 3 purples.
All right, and that's the 2 yellows, right, for my gunners?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna flip a destiny point to upgrade it. So I'm gonna make it 2 yellow, 1 green. We need all the help we can get. And they miss.
The ship actually begins to take some strain. You take another point of system strain as all of your cannons, or well, almost all of your cannons, are all firing all at once.
Okay.
You miss the TIE fighters and come just narrowly close to hitting one of the Mandalorian ships. Just narrowly missing it.
Watch it, Darius. We don't want to take out my friends.
No.
You're gonna take another maneuver like you did last time, or?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to do this time?
Let's see. kind of bring us around so that we're not so close to the Mandalorians, but we get a better shot at the approaching TIE fighters.
Okay, so get it to where they're not in a crossfire.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You're not gonna have to roll for that. Yeah, you can easily bring the ship around to where the TIE fighters are no longer in a cross, or the Mandalorians and you are no longer in a crossfire.
Okay.
And I'll even say that that puts you in an advantageous positioning, so it'll give you a boost dice on your next attack on the TIE fighters.
Cool.
Cool.
Pass that on.
The Star Destroyer is going to attempt to get you back into tractor beam as you have moved in underneath them and such. And let's see. What is your piloting skill, Darius?
It's 3 yellow, 1 green.
3 yellow, 1 green. All right, so that becomes... Come on, damn it. There we go. And roll. All right. They take some system strain doing it, but as you begin heading and getting yourself out of this crossfire, you manage to get where you were wanting to get, but as soon as you get in position, your ship comes to a shuddering halt and begins to drift back towards the Star Destroyer. And they're going to take some more. Let's see, that's their firing for this round. Their action for this round. Their maneuver is going to be that the reason you don't actually begin to drift closer to the Star Destroyer. I'm sorry, you begin to drift with the Star Destroyer as it's heading towards the one group of Mandalorian ships that had taken out the assault cruiser.
Okay.
Or wait, so yeah, you would actually get closer because that's the group you went to, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, you would actually get closer, but it's not that they're pulling you in, it's that they're getting closer to you. And see, that assault cruiser's gone, so it's back to the Mandalorian ships. The 3 ships remaining in Group 1 begin firing at the Star Destroyer, not taking the TIE fighters as a serious threat. Wait. And they would be on the port sides, or starboard sides. That's they are failing to do any real damage to the Star Destroyer at this point. But they pass a boost on to the next group, which is firing at the other assault cruiser, which they've gotten within short range of, but they have oops, I forgot their boost dice. Doesn't help. They for some reason this cruiser is I mean they were doing fantastic earlier against it, but this cruiser has begun to take as evasive maneuvers as such a large ship can take, and manages to evade most of their fire. The few shots that they do land aren't doing any serious harm to it. And the cruiser begins firing back. They seem to just be trading punches, not doing any real damage to either one. I mean, they're all taking minor damage, but nothing major like at the beginning of the battle. And now, let's see. I'll throw the TIE fighters in at the end of the round, so it becomes you guys.
All right, we're still in range of these TIE fighters that are going after the first group?
Yes.
All right. All right, guys, fire again.
All right. Let's see. It'll be 3 purple and 1 red this time. Plus you get your boost dice.
All right. Come on, boys,
And,
don't fail me.
You also get 3 other boost dice passed on to you from the Mandos, so you get a total of 4 boost.
All right, boys, don't fail me now. Fire.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Yeah!
All right. Let's see, that's 5 successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph. Out of the 10 TIE fighters that have begun swarming the Mandalorian ships, you managed to take out 5 of them.
Nice. All right.
Your ship's cannons just obliterate these things. I mean, there's just small fragments as your cannon hits these, it just explodes, leaving just ever so small fragments of TIE fighters left.
Oh, what should our triumph be? Oh.
You hear over the comms, that's some good shooting. Is Serene at the controls?
Negative. I got a nice, highly trained crew. And she looks at Darius as she says that and goes, I guess they are.
It works. No, it worked.
And let's see, for the triumph. Ooh. Triumph. Well, let's see. I think we got the 2 advantage. So I say with the 2 advantage, we'll recover 2 of our system strain. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. We might need that. And then for our triumph, I say with the way we're positioned. I'm going to say with the Triumph, the next group of Mandalorians gets an upgrade
Okay.
on the next check for that Triumph. Because we cleared a path for them. So now they've got a much clearer shot. They're not having to worry about TIE fighters, as many TIE fighters in their way to shoot this big Star Destroyer that should be no problem to shoot. But
Well, it's not a factor of they're not hitting. It's just a factor of they're not hitting anything vital.
right.
Its armor just seems to be soaking up the shots.
All right.
All right, so let's see. The TIE fighters that are left, they begin firing.
Now, we didn't maneuver yet, did we?
Oh, no, you didn't. Sorry.
Darius, do you want to try to break out of it again?
Yeah.
All right.
That's going to be 2 purple, 2 red again. Or, yeah, 2 purple, 2 red.
Do we still have that advantage?
No, I used them to get some strain back.
Okay.
We're going to need it.
All right. Well, the strain you got back, you use again.
All right.
Ship,
That's fine.
just like the time before, the ship begins to shudder, and you manage to break loose of the tractor.
Good job, Darius. Whoever's at command of that Star Destroyer is probably pretty pissed off right now.
I keep getting away.
Are you going to take some strain to take another maneuver, or are you going to leave it at that?
Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. Now for the TIE fighters, because I screwed up and tried to throw them in too soon. They begin firing at the Mandalorian ships.
Boom.
Missing. One of the TIE fighters actually, as they're sort of like bees flying around a person that's screwed with their hive, they're just buzzing around, flying around, firing. One of them clips another TIE fighter and goes spinning out, off away from everybody.
Nice.
The Star Destroyer opens fire on you with this. So you guys are off to its starboard, so with its dorsal and starboard weapons. Let's see, you're 3 smaller than it is, so that's and I'm going to spend a dark side to downgrade that and make it just the 4 there. And let's see, they're firing from where you're at. That'd be your port side.
1.
All right. Damn, they cannot manage to hit you and do any real damage to you at all. One shot just grazes across the port side of your ship, but all the other shots managed to miss.
And Zora will get on the comm to Cenarius and go, Cenarius, good job on keeping this ship up one piece.
He just he comes back over the comm. He says, so far it hasn't been too difficult. But if this battle goes on too much longer, it could get a little hairy.
We'll get through it. Hang on.
We're still operating on a skeleton crew.
We'll get through it. Don't worry, buddy. Hang on.
How big is the biggest of the Mandalorian ships?
It is the largest of the ships is a consular class light cruiser, just like the ones that the Imperials are using. The rest of them are the Gazanti class armed transports.
Oh. Nice.
Does the large ship, could it does it have enough room in it, or does it have a hangar bay that we could fly into if need be?
No,
Not big enough.
It's not large. I mean, you guys are in a Corvette capital type ship. You guys are actually larger than they are.
Okay.
Neither of you have a hangar large enough for the other, but you do have docking rings to where you could dock along next to it.
Right.
And the Zantis are able to carry at least a fighter in them.
Yeah, each one is large enough to carry a fighter, or I think it's a dozen. Yeah, it's a dozen passengers. Which, who knows? They might have passengers. That's up to you guys. I'll leave that up to you.
Let's get through this battle first.
But the Star Destroyer's gone. It's had its. It continues to maneuver in closer to you and the Mandalorian ships. And the Mandalorian ships begin firing back. And they got an upgrade, so that brings that to that. And they're still firing at starboard.
Yes,
All
thank you,
right.
Sean.
Oh,
First
All right.
time I'm ever going to thank you for rolling good.
All right, so the Mandalorians, they're opening fire on this Star Destroyer, and they begin to do some serious damage. And I'm going to leave it up to you. What's the triumph?
Oh.
What do you two think that their triumph should be against this Star Destroyer?
I don't know, Darius. What do you think?
Or, I mean,
well,
what plot changer do you want to use the triumph to be? I mean, hey, we just discussed that there are, let's see, there's total of 9 ships left, and 8 of them are Gazanti class transports. So that could be up to 8 Mandalorian starfighters. That could be 8 transports full of Mandalorians. They could have taken out something vital.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And
Or
what do you want
maybe-
it to be? Or
maybe
who
our-
knows?
Maybe our rebel
backup.
friends got their message.
I was just gonna say, or maybe some backup. Maybe some backup shows up.
What do you think?
It's completely up to the two of you. I'll leave it to you.
I think it's time the rebels showed up.
Yeah, well, they need to get into this fight too.
Yeah.
So at this
All right.
point, the message to pick up Miss Utah finally has gotten relayed, gotten to them, and they make a response, only to come into the middle of a battle between Mandalorians and the Empire.
All right. So we'll say 2. 1 for each of the successes. 2 rebel ships. And we'll say 1 of which is a YV-929 armored transport. And 1 is a Nebulan B frigate.
Oh, yes!
I'm going to be nice. Much different than what I normally am.
So which way are they coming from? From port or starboard of the destroyer direction?
Let's see, from the way the battle is all taking place, they would be coming from starboard aft. So they'd be coming in from behind you. So 2 more hyperspace windows open and close. A large Nebulan B frigate drops from hyperspace along with another transport, the YV-929.
All right.
And as they drop from hyperspace, you hear over your intercoms, "We've received your transmission. We're here to pick up the escape pod you've dropped. And we bring good news. The Emperor has fallen. Vader has turned."
Turn to what?
He's abandoned the Empire.
What did he do? Take off somewhere?
It seems Luke was able to appeal to his lighter side.
I lean over to Zara. Who's Luke?
She looks because I have no clue. Who cares?
Well, okay. Well,
Who
that's
cares
good
who Luke
then.
is? The Emperor's dead.
We still have these clowns who are messing with us.
I don't think this battle is going to last much longer.
Good,
It seems we have them greatly outnumbered.
good.
And Again, your comms break in, this time from your Mandalorian friends. All right, now who are these guys? Are they with you?
Yeah, we sent a message. They're coming to picking up a enemy of both of ours. Assist them in any way possible.
Yes, ma'am. As long as they don't fire on us, we won't fire on them.
Correct. Keep firing on that Star Destroyer and let's get these ships out of here.
Okay. Let's see, where were we? That was the Mandalorian's turn. So the assault cruiser, it fires a volley on the group of Mandalorians, and I'm going to do this a little differently just for time's sake here. They managed to do some pretty serious damage to another one of the, well, to group 2 of the Mandalorians. They managed, just like the first earlier, the ship begins to list and just sort of drift. You can see, if you were to look and pay attention to it, that power seems to be flickering in the ship. All of its cannons have gone offline, and its engines are no longer burning their bluish color. It's just sort of at a drift. And let's see, for this one I'm going to go ahead and do a piloting skill for them. So we're going to say it's that. And because they're in the heat of battle, we're going to give them that. Oh, all right. How am I gonna? All right. They open a hyperspace window, and just as the ship is beginning to visually stretch and elongate as it's heading into the hyperspace window, one of the Mandalorian ships manages to get a very, very, very lucky shot off and nails this thing right in its engines and such. And just like the one beforehand, just as this thing starts to stretch and elongate to jump into the hyperspace window, it begins a chain reaction of explosions. And is destroyed. It like the front half of the ship manages to get into the hyperspace window and disappears as the hyperspace window closes, but the back half of the ship is just explodes.
Oops.
And somewhere 2 systems away, the front end of the ship appears.
Yes, sir. So that's you guys.
Okay, so all we got is the Star Destroyer left and a couple of these TIE fighters left. Should we give them an opportunity to get out of this fight now, or should we just take them down?
Darius is actually just sort of sitting there, and he's kind of thinking and looking out at what's going on, and he's kind of not really hearing what you're saying because he's kind of lost in thought of the fact that all of this mess might be over. I mean, everything that, you know, that the Empire did to him, you know, throwing him out of his prior career and just making a mess of everything that he loved and believed in, you know, is now, for all intents and purposes, you know, is supposedly gone. And what does this mean? What's going to happen? So he's glad, but then he's also a bit kind of, well, now what? What? You know, so he's kind of thinking about all that because there is so much that he had lost, and, you know, and where he ended up from where he, you know, from where he started off. So he's kind of in his own sort of little thing at the moment, watching like the other ships, especially the Imperial ships, get destroyed, and just kind of, it's just all kind of like, you know, for once. So that's kind of what he's not exactly replying or saying anything back, and he's just kind of just looking out at the, watching what's left of the battle.
I agree. Let's get rid of them. All right, guys, clear out the rest of these TIE fighters.
All right. Yeah, same as before. You're going to have 3 purple and a red.
No boost this time. So, but I'm going to upgrade because we got a little surplus of points right there. So, oh!
All right.
I failed, but I triumphed. That's two.
You fail to hit any of the TIE fighters. You take 2 ship system strain, but you've got a triumph. So what good comes from your misfortune?
That oh, can we let's see. We've got a rebel fleet, a small little rebel fleet here. I'm going to say that we've cleared with my gunners firing on the rest of the TIE fighters, and they're down to, what, 4 now?
Well, there's still 5. Just one of them has sort of spun off and careened off away from the battle a bit.
Okay, so with the volleys that we've been firing at it, it was enough that, yes, we missed, but it scattered them enough to give all ships, all the Mandalorian ships, a straight, clear shot at the Star Destroyer. So it'll upgrade the next Mandalorian's check on that again.
Okay.
That is if the Star Destroyer decides to stick around.
The 9 remaining Mandalorian ships, 8 remaining Mandalorian ships, all begin to converge on this Star Destroyer. Two of them fly into the large underbelly hangar. One of them, or not one of them, but 2 others attach themselves to the upper hull of the Star Destroyer. The other 4 take up positions behind the Star Destroyer and begin firing. And because this is technically for you guys, I'm going to flip that one,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. I'm liking where this is going.
Yes.
Let's see, they are aft, so.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. That's 4 ships all firing. So that was. Let's see here. Where's the page at? So that's a total of. All right. You see the Star Destroyer's engines begin to sort of flicker and then burn out. One of the Mandalorian ships, as it's firing, you begin to see explosions coming from inside the ship, like bursting out of the hull. And it's had some type of catastrophic failure. And it actually just disintegrates in front as it's firing. It basically shoots itself apart. You hear over the comm, "Ma'am, I hope you don't disagree with this, but we're taking this ship."
Oh, by all means. For the clan, I assume.
For Mandalore.
All right, Mandalore. You can have her. We're going to pick up any of the survivors from the 2 ships that are disabled.
It sounds like a good plan.
Do you need any assistance from our rebel friends, or should we just let them pick up their prisoner?
Assistance is always welcome and may be needed. A Star Destroyer carries thousands, and though each one of us is worth 10 of them, I think the help would be appreciated.
All right, I'll radio to them. We'll pick up your survivors. And she'll look to Darius and go, "Hey, Darius, you want to help my clan take this ship over?"
Sure.
All right. We'll pick up the survivors and we'll join you as soon as we get all the survivors.
All right. So the screen wipes in typical Star Wars fashion. When it comes back, your ship, along with, let's see, 2 of them went inside, 1 of them destroyed. So that's 2 on top, so that's 3. So your ship, along with 5 Mandalorian transports, are attached to the hull of this Star Destroyer. You've managed to cut your way through. Inside, we have a sort of an action scene sequence of Mandalorians running through corridors, gunning down stormtroopers. For every 10, 15 stormtroopers that drops, a Mandalorian as well drops. Zara, Darius, the 2 of you are surrounded by other Mandalorians of the Netra Viper clan. You're making your way through a corridor A bulkhead door swishes open. You rush in to the bridge of this Star Destroyer. You see the bridge crew, all frantic, all panicking, all of which have blasters aimed at the door. And there is a middle-aged human male in a general's uniform standing behind a wall of officers.
Okay.
He shouts to his men to fire and shouts at you that you'll not take him and his ship.
Oh, we will. It will be easier for you to surrender now and spare the lives of you and your crew. Your emperor is dead.
But the Empire has not fallen yet.
It will in time. All empires fall eventually. Now, for the lives of your crew, surrender now.
They knew their lives and the risk of spending their lives when they enlisted. And he looks back at him. He puts a hand on one of the guys in front of me. He says, "I said fire." They all begin opening up fire. It's bouncing off Mandalorian armor. Shots just zipping past Darius, barely missing. Mandalorians begin firing. Imperial bridge crew begin falling. Soon, all that's left is this Imperial officer and Darius standing in front of him, holding his blaster to him. What does Darius say and do?
He's the only one left?
He's the only one left. And you've got 6 Mandalorians behind you, along with Zara.
You're going to come with me. You're going to answer for what you've all done. I could shoot you. That would be the easy way out for you. I want you to know what it's like to lose everything, because that's just what happened. So I turn to the Mandalorians and go, "Why don't you take him away?"
2 of the Mandalorians step past Zara and step past you, each one of them grabbing an arm, and they don't usher the Imperial to stand and walk away. They begin to just drag him off. And as they drag him past the group of you and the other Mandalorians, one of the other Mandalorians butts him with his rifle right in the back of his head, knocking him unconscious. They drag him off of the bridge. As they drag him off of the bridge, 3 other Mandalorians come walking onto the bridge. One with a limping gait that you can tell is from malfunctioning cybernetics. He dismantled, or not dismantles, but takes off his helm. He's got an eye patch covering his right eye.
Right eye, yep.
He looks to be in his 70s, possibly his early 80s. He looks between Darius and Zara. He looks to have a look of relief and yet a look of displeasure on his face. He looks back at Darius. You and your men have handled themselves well today. Your actions have earned you honor and respect. And for this, I offer you positions in the Mandalorian Grand Army. Should you choose to accept, Zara knows where to go. He then turns to Zara. He says, as for you, young lady, we've got some speaking to do. I believe you need to debrief me on where you've been for the last 3 years and why you haven't had any contact up until 3 months ago.
Yes, Father. I will explain everything to you.
He turns and walks off the bridge. The other Mandalorians all follow him off the bridge, leaving just the two of you.
Well, Darius, what are you going to decide?
Well, I'm greatly honored that your that was your father
That's my father, yes.
would take from a non-clan person into his clan. I know that's a very important and big step for him. But if what's happened with the Empire and the Rebellion, I think I need to go back home, back to Coruscant, and see what's left, and maybe find my own clan, those who I used to serve with.
I understand.
But I thank you, and I thank your father.
Well,
I'm deeply honored.
I'll talk to him. Let him know how you feel. He'll understand. But remember, you always have friends out there. If you ever need us, you know who to call.
I do. Thank you. And the same.
You may not see me on Coruscant anytime soon. I got some unfinished business.
Oh, God, I hope that crazy Utah doesn't show back up anymore.
Oh, I guarantee you she won't ever show up again. If the rebels don't take her, I'm sure Father will.
Oh, I should have shot it into the sun. That's just me. All right, Freed. Go ahead.
Kerr will do much worse than that.
Good. Had enough of those crazy Sith Inquisitors. Ugh.
Are you going to take the ship?
Actually, I probably just need a smaller one. Really, I think. Why don't? It's a good ship. I think you guys should. I think you should take it. I could just use something small, little fighter or something with a hyperdrive that I could put Fweep into, and
I think we could find you something to. Sure, Father has something that we can arrange for you. As far as the crew, we'll keep them with us. They're a good crew.
Yeah.
We'll keep them on the ship. I got some unfinished business to do. First off, I think it's time to pay back Mamada. What do you think?
oh, I think so too.
We'll do that first, and then, well,
I'll blow that fool up.
gonna have to finish the business that I never finished before I disappeared.
And at that, the screen fades to black. The credits roll. It has been an amazing campaign.
Hell yeah.
I wish it could continue, but due to life and other circumstances, as I said at the beginning of this session, it is unfortunately our last one. I think this ended nicely. Thank you to the couple of viewers who have been. I hope you enjoyed the session. Anybody who watches this after its live session, please go back and watch the others. They were just as entertaining. And that's it for the night. There will be other campaigns and other games in the near future.